What's going on, geeks? You're listening to episode 299 of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. My name's Cody Armour. I'm here with Lj.Lowery.
What up?
And Shelley Nollan.
Hello.
This week, we're geeking out about One Piece. The Academy Awards being a real slap in the face to their audience. See what it did there. And more One Piece. I don't know. It's a slow news week. We're talking about an anime that I've never watched. Twice.
And I've only watched some of it.
Piece.
I mean, has anyone truly watched all of One Piece? I'm
Yes.
sure
A
someone has.
lot of people have, and a lot
think-
of people think that you're not living unless you've seen all of it.
True.
Maybe
And-
eventually. Maybe eventually I'll watch
Yeah.
it. But
I'm
it's
about
just
ready
a commitment.
to just watch the dub because I've been talking to somebody and they're like, "Don't let people dub shame you," and I was like, "All right, cool. Like, I'm just gonna watch
Yeah.
the dub then."
Yep.
So, but yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't. I didn't like Fairy Tail either. I'm gonna get people gonna be mad at me.
So
we can get into it later.
I've only seen a few episodes of Fairy Tail, and I've seen more One Piece, and I like One Piece better than Fairy Tail easily.
Okay. The new show on Netflix looks cool. Starting off with a tangent. The one in space.
That one that's basically Fairy Tail in space.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, I mentioned at the top of the show it's 299, which means next week is episode 300.
300 is a lot.
Dang.
That's like... Well, it's
So
not quite a
many
year,
episodes.
but it's...
I know. I can't wait till 365.
Looking
it's such a weird milestone.
Looking forward to the Snyder Cut. Just kidding.
Yeah. But no, super exciting. We are going to be doing a Facebook live podcast next week, so make sure that you're on our Facebook page and in the community, so that you can watch, and not only watch but interact with us as well. And then we're gonna give away a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Not just any T-shirt, the softest T-shirt
The
in
best
existence.
t-shirt.
Yes.
The
famous
Geeks Under Grace
T-shirts.
T-shirt, of course.
The famous T-shirts we talk about almost every week on this podcast.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Super soft and super comfy.
So, if you want one, just show up. I don't know how we're gonna pick a winner yet. Maybe, probably need to be there. Probably need to comment in some way.
Yeah.
And then
I'll pull up one of those little randomizer things, and we'll do it that way for everybody that shows up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be cool. All right, let's get into this podcast.
Yeah.
With games that we've been playing. LJ, you go first.
Yes, I am the addict out of the three of us. So I'm playing two new releases. So first, I'll talk about Kirby. Kirby.
I'm so excited for Kirby.
It's really good. So just to kind of let everybody know who hasn't kind of noticed yet. So it's not really like an open world thing at all. Like it's linear levels, like a Kirby game usually is. I don't know. Like I guess
Okay.
Some of the early footage left an impression that it might be, but
Yeah, I figured it was.
Well, because obviously people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Kirby Breath of the Wild, Kirby Mario Odyssey." Not
I
really.
thought more Mario Odyssey. Like I was thinking small open areas.
Well, and yeah, so it's got a hub world like Kirby games do, and it's got levels. But it's cool. Like it's basically Kirby turned into a 3D platformer, and instead of like a 2.5D thing like Crystal Shards was.
Gotcha.
It's really cool because like there's you can upgrade your abilities now.
Right? I remember seeing that in the direct. I was like, oh, that's such a cool feature.
It's cool. Like I had this one like Ranger Kirby, and so he has like a ranger, like almost like a military looking hat, and he has a gun. I'm like, oh dang, Kirby's got a gun. And then there's one where he gets more of like a pirate, like old militia style hat, and he has two guns, like, and they're like musket style things. Then there's
I'm just getting Shadow the Hedgehog flashbacks.
well, yeah, and so there's also another example is like the regular fire ability. The next one is like it's like a volcano theme, and then after that it's like a dragon fire one that's like blue fire and stuff. Like, so the abilities are really fun. Like I usually find myself changing them out and trying different ones. There's different.
I'm still stuck on. I can't believe they gave Kirby a gun. Is it like a gun? Or
No,
like a
well,
laser gun?
it shoots like I don't know. It shoots like magic stuff. Like there's literally like a charge thing. Like yeah, a gun in most family friendly way possible. You could make a gun probably. Like
Okay. That makes a little more sense. In
like
my mind, I'm just thinking these like machine guns with little Kirby.
Yeah, no,
you know,
it's
it's
not
like, hey, let that happen.
It's not like Kirby like just grabs like a machine gun or like a Gatling gun and goes like not like.
Which
Kirby
I'm down for, by the way. I just
that sounds
throw
amazing.
that out there.
Actually,
just I was like, what?
just give Kirby a minigun like Arnold, just like
Man.
Terminator.
Yeah, just swallows
So
Rambo.
fun.
Like,
Yeah. Oh dang. Yeah, but so it's cool. Like the boss fights I think are the highlight of it. There's a lot of mini bosses, but then there's like a main boss after you like clear the particular hub area. It's cool. It's fun. And it feels weird after playing a game like Elden Ring because I have yet to even die in that game. And I'm like, so it's like, am I just good at this game or is Kirby just way too easy? Like,
I mean, Kirby's are known to being really easy.
well, yeah.
Kirby,
So it's almost
but
like,
they're-
yeah. Even
I read
like
somewhere,
yeah.
and I don't know if it's true.
Uh-huh.
So, because I read it all on the internet.
Yeah.
But I read somewhere that part of the reason that Kirby games are so easy is that the developers care about Kirby so much that they don't like putting him in dangerous scenarios. They don't like putting him in situations where he's getting hurt
That's
or
funny.
actively being
Oh.
harmed.
That's
And
funny.
I'm like, I don't even know if that's true, but I want it to be. Because,
Yeah.
like, to know that the Kirby devs care so much about Kirby that they literally are like, no, we're not going to put him in a dangerous or bad or evil scenario. Like, we're going to have him sort of vibing and, like, kind of doing what he got to do.
Yeah.
And being cute along the way.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's good. It's more Kirby, which is not a bad thing. It's really cool. So I'm gonna play more of that just casually.
I'll definitely get it eventually.
Yeah.
I get in the habit of getting games way later than, after they come
Yeah.
out. So,
Yeah. The other game we actually got a review copy for, which is very exciting. Got Ghostwire Tokyo.
oh, wow.
That's a Bethesda game. And Tango Gameworks, makers of Evil Within. It is basically like spirit detective kind of like you're vanquishing these evil spirits and collecting these ones that are like haven't passed on yet and helping send them off because it's almost like a terrorist attack kind of thing happens to where there's this group that's like caused this big old like supernatural calamity in Tokyo. And so you have all these abilities and it's like, I think I'm only missing like an Earth one. And if I had an Earth one, I'd basically be like a modern Avatar. Because you have all these like Doctor Strange style like hand gestures you shoot stuff with. And you can do like in other like shows, like you see like the talismans that, like in some of the like anime and things like that, you can throw talismans down to like stun enemies.
That's neat.
You can like break seals, like because like there's like spiritual stuff that's like sealed off. It's like very spiritual detective, like supernatural, like cleansing the land and saving the spirits kind of a thing. It's really cool. I don't know where the story is gonna go yet, but it's really fun. And I'm thinking like, ooh, if this story gets really good, then I'm really gonna enjoy this game. So. It's good though. It's only on PS5 and PC right now, coming to Xbox probably a year later since this and Deathloop were the last two games that Bethesda had the Sony deal with. So after this, I think is like Starfield. So
Oh my
so
gosh,
everything's coming to Xbox now
Yeah.
after this. So
Dang.
yeah, yep, this is the last of them. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'll have to see where the story goes and report back on that. So that's what I've been up to.
Cool.
What
Shelley,
about
what
you
have you
guys?
been playing?
So sort of new, sort of not.
Yeah.
I'll start with something that's not super new, but I played a ton of Persona 4 Golden this weekend because I already have friends who are like playing Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and granted, a lot of them have played the game before, right? Originally, right? And so they're really excited for this to come out, and I was excited, but I'm like, I don't want to get spoiled. Yeah, I don't want to get spoiled with this game because it's a sequel, and supposedly, like, yeah, there'd be spoilers. So I played a ton of Persona 4 Golden this weekend, and I am close to the end. I am not done with it yet, but I am far enough that I kind of know. Like, I'm not spoiled by this, by Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, per se. Because it's not even necessarily like you have to be at the end of the game. It's like, I think as long as you're far enough, like, I think
as long as you've seen the big reveal.
Exactly, which I have. So I'm like, okay,
cool.
Then that's cool.
Yep.
just such a fun game, though, Persona 4 Golden. Like, and I'm excited to play the epilogue, right? Because I haven't even... I'm near the end of, like, original Persona 4, but there's still another semester to look forward to, which will be a good time. So, yeah, it's such a good game.
Yep.
I don't know. It really makes me want to replay and do a New Game Plus run of Persona 5 Royal. I need
to get back to that game so much.
These games, and again, I might change my mind once I actually beat the game officially, but I spend so many hours in games like these, and they're so fun, but then I usually want to take a big break from them afterwards because they are so long. But for some reason, I'm like, just really like, oh, like, I want to play New Game Plus, Persona 5 Royal, like, I want to get all the social like links up to rank 10. I want to like, do all the things. I want to be broken. I want to have my really broken personas and just like sweep the floor with everyone. So I may do that just because I eventually do want to do a New Game Plus that game. I just definitely at least want to beat Golden first before anything else. But that is, I'm really still having a really good time with that game. But yeah, so I got it and played so much because I wanted to get Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, which I finally did. And cool. I've barely played any. I literally walked through the tutorials and that's it.
Cool.
But I think it would be really cool. Like, I actually kind of want to spend time, like, learning the game.
Yes.
I have never spent time in a traditional fighter. Like, in a traditional fighting game. Smash is not a traditional fighter. It's a platform fighter. Very different. Yeah. Very, very different. Some of the concepts are similar, like the neutral game, advantage states, and things like anti-airs. Like there's some things that transfer.
And different
zoners and that sort of thing.
Zoning, rushdowns, kind of a thing. A lot of terminology carries over.
Exactly. So it's interesting to like from a conceptual standpoint, I sort of understand kind of like your goals, what you're supposed to kind of be doing. However, I'm just really bad at inputs, and I literally just have to practice that. So I'm going to go through the story probably, because again, all I've done so far is tutorials and nothing else. Like before, I'm not going to learn combos, I'm not going to learn anything else until I like actually figure out what the frick's going on, because I'm so not used to, having to like work hard for inputs. Yeah. Like Smash Ultimate is a game like not even Melee, because Melee you do have
half
to
circle,
for inputs.
heavy, light, forward, down, high attack.
I've never had to like worry about those in my experience with combos, Smash. So that's something I have to like actually like spend time figuring out. So, but it'll be cool. I don't anticipate being good ever, but I kind of just want to have fun with it. Because it looks like a fun game. I just like, it's Persona. It's a fighting game.
I believe they are getting rollback at some point. They don't have rollback code yet.
They are, which is very, very cool. And I don't know, maybe I'll bully some of my Smash friends who love this game, and maybe I'll try to get them to like teach me, or like I can.
I'm very casual at it too, but I have it on PS4 and I bought it on Switch. So,
nice, and I got on Switch just so specifically so I can take it to Smash tournaments.
Yeah, you can take it with you. And then
talk to people about it.
It's perfect because the story is like all visual novel. So like so you can just kind of go through it that way and just have it on autoplay and like listen to it if you want to. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm excited about that though. I literally like have been watching videos about it too. Because again, I just feel it's so funny how I competitively play Smash, but it like this is so different from Smash, which I like knew, right? I'm very much aware that traditional fighting games are very different than platform fighters, but it's just funny that it's like I'm looking up these videos like, hey, for a noob, for a beginner, like I have to go back to square one, even though I understand conceptual stuff. I need to understand literally just inputs.
Well, that's like for Tekken. Like I was watching Jin Kazama videos all the time because he's my main, like so. Yeah. And you'll there's plenty of videos out there like that are like beginner tips and things to look at. So
what is super funny though is that I was looking for like beginner tips and things today. What's so funny is that there's like character guides and things and they're either videos that came out in the last like 15 days or so. Like the game itself came out around
like 2 weeks ago,
like around 2. So it's like any time between,
and then there's some from like 10 years ago.
11 years ago, like something like that. Like there's no in between. It's amazing. It's awesome. But I guess there's also some differences between like the original Persona 4 Arena, and then like Ultimax, and then like I think even in this new game they've made changes, so that's something to, I guess, keep in mind. Anyway, that's all. This being said, I got that game. So really,
Sweet.
I've just been playing tons and tons of Persona 4.
That's
content.
exciting.
Yeah.
I downloaded Tunic, and then I haven't touched it.
I will eventually get it as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
My wife seems to really be enjoying it. She has a notebook and a pen and paper, so apparently lots of puzzles to figure out and journal out.
There's a lot that game doesn't tell you. Even the text is in another language.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And you get like the guidebook.
Yes.
Through the game to figure out how to do things.
That guidebook was literally inspired by Zelda 2.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I love like notebooking and journaling with games and stuff. Like I do it with. I mean, I'm not going to show the camera because you guys can see it, listening. But I have that same thing again for like Persona 4 Golden. I like keep track of everything because there's so many things to keep track of.
Like
so I think it's just such a
your
fun...
notebook reminds me of the Always Sunny meme.
The only time I ever pulled out a notebook,
the one where he's got the wires and was like.
Oh, okay, I got what you're saying.
I know.
The only time I've ever done notebook stuff is with Pokemon. I had Missing No all translated. I drew each one of them out, and then I had the letters underneath.
Whoa!
And then,
you mean unknown?
I had...
Not Missing
Yeah,
No.
what did I call them? Missing
You
No, not Missing No. Yeah,
like,
unknown.
Is there some other?
No, the
role with them?
unknowns.
Yeah.
No. The unknowns, I had them all written out, and then
That's
I would have
cool.
them, each one lettered. So, like, didn't have internet at the time, or, I don't know, didn't know how to use it. I don't know. I learned Braille for a while.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I was using Braille for the game. I can't remember which game that is. And I don't think you could even do anything with the Braille, really. If I remember anymore.
I feel like there's a game that has had that. I don't remember, though.
Oh, it was Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They were these little like places you get these legendary Pokemon. I don't know if you could actually get the legendary Pokemon. It's been so long. But everything on the walls was written in Braille. And so for a little while I was able to like look at Braille and know what it said. Like I could translate it because I'd
That's cool.
written it out so many times. But anyways, I'll play Tunic at some point. Instead, I went back into this PlayStation Plus catalog that I now have at my fingertips from PlayStation 4 to PS5 stuff. So I downloaded Detroit Becoming Human, which was something that I really wanted to play when it first came out because it looks so beautiful. And it still does look just amazing. I don't know. Is it in Unreal Engine?
I don't remember what engine it is in, to be honest.
It wouldn't surprise me. Like, it looks hyper realistic.
They may have their own engine. I don't remember.
If they do, it's awesome looking. Game engine, I'm gonna look that up. But the game looks great for most part. Sometimes, like, there was one time my character was picking up a trash bag, and the trash bag was like a solid. Like, there was no give to it at all. Looked a little silly, but
it's a rock.
I want to know. I don't know what the engine is. Technology PlayStation 4 doesn't say. I'm sure I could find it out later on. Anyways, there's like stuff on the televisions in the game that I can't tell if it's in game or if they just like took clips of something in real life and like threw it into an engine. There's photographs, and the photographs look like real, actual photographs. I don't know. Visually, it's kind of crazy. Gameplay wise, makes no sense whatsoever. It just tells you what to do, and then you do the things.
That's like all Quantic Dream games. They never make any sense. You just play them.
Yeah,
they are pretty.
It's
strange.
like you're opening a door, so you're gonna slide to the right and then go around in a circle with your.
So it's a proprietary engine. It's like their own in-house engine.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, if they can make it move faster than it does, they could do a lot with that. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, Unreal Engine, I suppose, there's a lot of realistic stuff too, but story's been a lot of fun. For those who don't know, it's about androids that are, I guess, becoming human the best that they can.
Kind of Blade Runner-ish.
Yeah, there is a detective as one of the characters. You play as 3 different characters, and that detective is trying to figure out why androids are becoming deviant, is the word that they use. And so you're trying to figure out, I don't know what's going on yet. there's so much to it. I keep like forgetting what the point is of the game, and that I think is kind of intentional on their part. And so you're an android, so sometimes you want to play as the good android, and that's not necessarily the right thing to do.
Yeah, because they have you switch characters a lot in those games.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm really enjoying the story beats to it. I did want to bring this up just because this is the Geeks Under Grace podcast, and I thought this was kind of interesting. I opened the game up today, and it was like, I can't remember the name of the company that makes the androids. They wanted to do a survey, and I was like, yeah, I'll do this survey. And the cool thing about these games, of course, is that, you know, it's all about choices, and so that you can see the choices that everyone else makes. So I got to see the 10 survey questions, how the world answered them. And so one of them was, do you believe in God? And only 45% of the players said yes. And then it was like 35 said no, and then the rest said, I don't know.
That's kind of awesome, because I feel like that number would have been lower.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think it's probably global, and then 45%, but it's not in like the Christian God, technically, in a God in general. And I was like, wow, true. That's yeah. But 45% of gamers, I don't know. I think that just kind of goes to show just how needed Geeks Under Grace is and organizations like it. You know, if you are in a gaming organization, you know, Christian ministry of any kind, thanks for doing what you're doing. And you know, just kind of proof, a really small scale proof. I don't know how many people answered those questions, but according to one game, the world needs us. So
yeah, definitely,
that's awesome. At least 55%, if not more. Could use a little hope, I think. Another interesting thing on this too was it asks if you believe technology could be a danger to the world.
Heck yeah.
And most people said yes. But then another question a few questions later is, do you feel you're dependent on technology? To which everyone said yes.
That's
very
cool.
Black Mirror in thinking, like,
yeah, that's awesome.
It could be a danger, but we're all dependent on it. So yeah.
Yeesh.
That's kind of
it
cool.
was, I know, I wasn't prepared for it to be like get so deep, I guess.
Yeah. With a survey,
yeah, it feels very Black Mirror to me. There was something else I did in the game that I found shocking, and you can kind of go back and like replay stuff. And so it was the first time I did it, and I got scolded for the thing that I did. I won't say what it was because I don't want to give anything away. I want people to be able to do it. But yeah, that was kind of cool. I went back to the main menu, and the lady that kind of hosts the game, I guess the best way to put it, was like, I can't believe you would do that.
Yep.
I was like, sorry, my bad.
Like, I can't believe you would go back and switch the choice you made.
Yeah, and then I felt like I was missing like a bunch of this kind of dialogue, but apparently not. No. It's just that they knew what they were doing and expected you to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, if you like, I guess, you know, Telltale games, I would say. This feels like a really intense Telltale game.
Yeah, so my example I gave you earlier was Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures anthology. Those are those are horror centric. But those are very much along the same lines of like interactive games, you know, that are like cinematic.
I would say this isn't necessarily horror, but I would probably put it in like the Black Mirror realm. Like it's definitely how technology could go wrong.
Commentary,
kind of yeah. Cool stuff. Anyways, I think that's all the games that everyone's been playing. We'll get into the news then. Yeah,
so not a ton of news. The first piece of news, I've been wanting to watch more One Piece lately, and this is especially talking with coworkers, and this just adds fuel to it. A One Piece RPG called, speaking of Odyssey, One Piece Odyssey is being developed by the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl devs, and obviously it's published by Bandai Namco. This looks very much like the most recent like Tales games and stuff like that. Like a lot of those JRPGs that Namco has helped build. But yeah, and it's, you know, it has the director and writer and creator of One Piece. It's got his blessing and stuff like that. And unlike unlike Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, like that company, obviously they had a remake they were doing. So actually, technically wasn't even Game Freak that did Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It was another company.
It's weird though because they really did just take the code from the original games. Like,
okay.
Via the speedrunning community, it's been discovered that so many glitches that worked in those original games still work in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl.
So they just gave it a fresh coat of paint.
It basically that's all it is. So
wow, okay.
Yeah, fun fact for all y'all who don't follow speedrunning communities, it's really funny.
Wow.
I think there's
this
even
game
more
actually
that
looks
they
kinda
also
good.
added.
Yeah, One Piece.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's kind of like that World Seeker one that came out a few years ago that was giving people like Breath of the Wild vibes. It's like, but for me, it's so deep into the lore of the show where everybody's at right now. It's one of those things where it's like I literally just want to play the entire One Piece story in video game form, but that's not gonna happen. But this game does look really good, and it looks way better than like graphically. Like it's full character models and everything. Like it's definitely got a higher production value than Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Looks cool. So if you're a One Piece fan, check this out. Or if you're interested, check it out. Looks cool.
Yeah, very cool.
It makes me want to try watching more One Piece. So
eventually I might watch.
Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of episodes.
Like, this is the best media ever.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
People have been talking.
I'll wait for an abridged to come out. We need that. I bet they have that.
Nah, that ain't. I don't think anybody's gonna catch up to. Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
There's
I'll
probably-
tell you if it's good or
There's,
not. But
like filler episodes, like I know, like in Naruto and like Shippuden, like that's very much.
Well,
the same
see,
way.
I've heard
There's,
the
like, cut
argument.
down, but
I've
don't
heard the
know.
argument that are like really not many filler episodes of One Piece. I've heard that.
Yeah, that's why I was
Which
thinking. I feel
is
like
that's
everything's
awesome
pretty
to me.
important.
Like, yeah, like just as a appreciate from a distance kind of a thing. Like that's awesome to have so many episodes like that and not a lot of them be filler.
I looked it up. If anyone's wondering,
Yep.
There is an abridged, but they only abridge one episode at a time, at 7 minutes per episode.
Oh,
So is it legit abridged or is it like comedy abridged?
It's
Like
not
is
like-
it abridged?
Probably
series?
comedy abridged. That's what I was.
I love comedy abridged.
Yeah,
So-
he's
Yeah.
thinking Team 4-Star.
Yes.
Dragon Ball Z
sir.
abridged.
Yeah.
Also,
Um,
Blade Works abridged. So good.
Majestic Space Dock.
Yeah. So this looks good. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk about this on the podcast. Not only because there's not a ton of gaming news, but because it looks good. And the other piece of news, which is probably gonna happen by the time you even hear me speak these words, but PlayStation's arrival to Gamepass is reportedly going to be revealed this week. According to Bloomberg, which reported on that Friday, and it's a Monday now. So what's going to happen is we're going to have all of this information by the time I even put this podcast up on Wednesday.
Yep, you'll know everything.
Though I may get lucky because I have Wednesday off. So if it doesn't happen Monday or Tuesday, it could happen Wednesday afternoon. So I don't know.
Throw in something.
Watch it happen right as I'm editing the podcast Wednesday morning. That's gonna...
Usually what happens to us, I don't know, we don't express this much. But like every trailer, it seems, movie trailer comes out on a Tuesday.
Yep. Or like
And then
Monday night sometimes, like Spider-Man.
yeah, we'll literally get things. We'll record the podcast,
That's so annoying.
and then if it were to happen during the podcast, we have stopped what we're doing and recorded the
That's-
piece.
That's why we were
But
so
it's-
happy to catch the Moon Knight trailer when we did that one time, I believe, right?
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. that
Most
one time.
times it's like 20-30 minutes after we've all left.
Yep. or the next morning, like
Yeah, we'll wake up to something. And,
yeah, so to some
curse.
bombshell of a news. That's a curse. I guarantee you, anybody who's recorded a podcast that keeps up with news totally relates.
Yeah.
It's just it's like Full Metal Alchemist law of equivalent exchange, just with podcasts. But yeah, so we're gonna have details about that. Either way, I'll probably be getting into it in the week after and discussing it. But Bloomberg reports from an anonymous source that the reveal is happening very soon. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
When it happens, we can talk about it more, and we have already talked about what it could be. So, yeah, that's gaming news for now.
Sweet. We'll get into movies. I have not seen any movies myself, but movie season is coming up.
Yep.
We got
It's already kind of started a little bit.
Sonic. That's true. Sonic and then Morbius.
Oh, yeah.
Morbius and then Sonic, I think, actually.
So I'm actually going to a screening of Sonic with my family, like I was supposed to do with Spider-Man this time. So that's going to be exciting.
Nice.
So I'll probably
Doctor Strange will be coming up soon.
Yeah. I am going to watch Morbius. Just, I want to support them, even though I don't have high hopes for Morbius.
Yeah, I'm really confused at what Morbius is.
Yep.
Trailers have shown nothing.
April 1st.
We don't even know who the villain is.
I don't know.
We know nothing. We don't know what time, what universe it's in, if it's in all the universes. I'm very interested in that movie.
Be patient.
Yeah. Like, that's all I want for that movie is I want to know why it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm not excited for Morbius. I'm excited for all the different universe connections. So Sony's got me on the hook. Yeah, anyways. LJ, did you see any movies?
No, I just watched the Academy Awards last night.
Okay.
Which, yeah. I mean, not much else we can say there. I'll say this, because I know people are probably already over the Will Smith stuff.
Especially by Wednesday.
Well, yes, by Wednesday, people are going to be so sick of the memes and everything. I'll say this.
Some of the memes are okay, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
Already I'm like,
honestly,
okay,
I was
tired.
genuinely surprised. Like, there's all the people that are like, oh no, it was staged. No, I don't think it was. So
The fact that if it wasn't, like, if it was staged, they wouldn't have censored it.
yeah, and that's what tripped me out. Like,
100%.
I literally thought Hulu was bugging out.
I thought the TV was breaking. I
Yeah.
was making a joke when it was happening. I was like, I thought the TV was breaking, and I was just like, haha, did they cancel the Oscars finally? And then it came back, and I was like, wait, what just happened?
I was
and then we
like,
went directly to Twitter.
What? Yeah, and that's what I did. Like, I hit rewind to be like, wait, what happened?
Like, wait a second.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I think if it was staged, we wouldn't have gotten, like, the apology that we got from Chris Rock.
Even Will Smith just apologized a couple hours ago as of this recording. Like, he put out this big old statement. And I was like, good on you.
The Academy's putting a whole thing out of, like, they may suspend him.
Jeez,
I don't know about that.
Funny.
But
I hate award shows, but that was the most entertaining thing by far.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll get into, like, nominees and a couple of those. But the thing I want to shout out here, being we're a Christian podcast, is... You know, like, I really love that Denzel Washington, I guess, and Bradley Cooper. Somehow Bradley Cooper got involved there. Denzel Washington kind of talked to him aside during the commercial break and told him, he said that, like, he shared this on the during his acceptance speech, but Denzel Washington being a kind of a straight man in terms of acting, and he basically said, like, when you're at your highest level is when the devil's going to come after you. And it literally, like, to me, that should have been humbling. It's like, you acted a fool a minute ago, and now look, you won an Oscar for Best Actor. You know, like, so I just love that, so I don't know, like, it gives me, like, I'm like, you know what, if anybody should have got anything out of the Oscars last night, is they got a message from somebody who's a believer and who believes in God, and, you know, I just thought that was really cool. I'm like, you know what? Will just got humbled right there live. We saw it all, you know, like, so regardless of what everybody's thoughts are, I just thought it was really cool that we did get a Christian message out of that whole scenario. So anyway,
Cool.
I watched the Academy Awards, and I don't know, did y'all watch anything?
No.
Movies, no. I don't like any of this.
Yeah, we can just get right into the Academy.
Yeah, so
stuff.
I really wanted to watch Coda and Power of the Dog are the two that I really need to watch, because those were in a lot of nominations.
Very, very nominated.
Yep.
A lot of stuff. Yeah, and, like, I guess we'll talk a little bit about it. Just some highlights, like, you know, like, Coda won Movie of the Year.
You know what really gave me chills when everybody was cheering in Sign when they were doing the hand thing.
Yeah, they're doing the hands.
I was like, that literally hit me in the feels. I was like, oh my gosh, like, that is so cool.
Yeah, I loved that moment.
That was amazing.
Yeah, so what's interesting too about Coda specifically, I think it's the first movie that went straight to or was presented through, like, a streaming service to win Best Movie. Because it's Apple TV
I think the other one that won last year, gosh, from the Eternals director, I think that one started in theaters, but then it came to a streaming service. Like, this is the first one that was like straight from a service.
Yeah, or I mean, straight from Sundance, from Sundance to streaming service.
And then Power of the Dog was a Netflix movie.
Yeah, so it's like
it's just kind of crazy to have those movies from streaming services on there like that.
Exactly, like theaters were not reliable at all this last year. They had to rely on streaming services, and I mean, thankful for them. Like that's people were nominating them, and they were getting awards. So
the selection was really good this year because like I feel like I knew most of them when in previous years I had no idea about like
I didn't know any.
Oh really?
But that's because I don't like I do the movies news for this podcast.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I really just don't pay much attention to
movies.
Well,
we're very emphasized on like geeky movie news and related to the actors of those things, So it's like I'm like, maybe I should watch less nerdy things and watch some of these nominees that are supposedly really good that I've known about.
Right.
Like Dune.
Well, yeah, Dune was the only thing that I'm like, but even then, like, I loved Dune, and I'm like, there's no way that should get Best Picture because there were other movies that were very deserving of it.
It was really funny watching because for some reason I kept forgetting that the Batman definitely came out this year and not last year. And I kept thinking, I would think the Batman would be in at least one of these nominations. It was a pretty good movie, but I was like, wait a second, I'm stupid.
I believe the cinematographer of Dune is the same for the Batman, so...
And Mandalorian.
Was
and Mandalorian.
Pretty freaking good in the Batman.
So maybe they'll come back next year and get another one for the Batman. We'll see.
Very amateur new
And
opinion.
Dune won 6 awards, like, quickly in the beginning.
I think,
And I'm like, man, this better not keep going this way or else I'm going to be mad.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it didn't. But I think Dune won the most awards.
Yep.
Just for like an individual movie, which makes sense. Because like I think like best actors, actresses were like other movies, but like when it comes to like cinematography, music, right? Hans Zimmer won.
Yeah, it was very deserving of the awards it won. I thought, but I was just like, man, they better not sweep like this.
Right, and I think it made sense. But yeah, and the only other like thing I maybe mildly cared about was like at least when it comes to like the awards and like wanting to know the events of the awards is like animated movie and Encanto won, which
I wanted Mitchell's versus the Machines to win so bad, but
I haven't seen that movie yet, but it was like it's
so good.
I feel like we're starting to finally get into an era where like animated movies are actually becoming really good again.
They're being recognized as well.
At least 3D animated movies, like again, like the animation styles are getting better, and the themes are getting better. So, but it is still kind of just like I don't know. I'm tired of it always being like Disney up there for everything.
Which was
I
really
really love Encanto. Like I do really like that movie, but it's also just like it's always Disney. It's always
Like I loved when Into the Spider-Verse won Best animated. I was like, yes, like, yeah, Disney's back in there mostly probably because the catchy music. I mean, not that it wasn't good animation, but I'm just like, oh no, the fact that it became a phenomenon really like helped it a lot.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also don't care about award shows because they're kind of, I don't know, I kind of think they're rigged.
This was the first time I was genuinely interested, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch it. I'm not doing anything else tonight.
Nice.
We were talking about this before the podcast. I love the video game awards because of trailers, premiere trailers. I think that I probably would tune into an Academy Award thing if I knew that I was getting movie trailers.
If they premiered big trailers during it.
Yeah, if we would have gotten Thor Ragnarok trailer, I would really
Yeah,
not Ragnarok.
Like,
Thor Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
I guess I was sort of sharing this a little bit before to the podcast, so I'll mention it here. But I feel like it's sort of the vibes I was getting. I feel like awards shows, like more official ones, like the Oscars, for example, they they try to be really entertaining, and I never really find it very entertaining or funny. Like Amy, like I don't know, not to like dog on any of the hosts, right? Because I don't think it was the host's fault or anything. I just don't personally find it very entertaining. Any of those award shows, but
I'm glad it
Then
was
there's-
it was 3 of them, and it wasn't just Amy Schumer. Because if it was just Amy Schumer, I'd be like, nope, I'm not watching
Amy
it.
Schumer's just the only name I remember, right? I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, I know at least Amy Schumer was up there. But when it comes to the Game Awards, it's like they don't try to be super, like, you know, as a host, he doesn't try to be super entertaining, but he knows exactly what people are there to watch. Like, I think he even knows that people aren't there for the awards. He knows people are there for the premieres. And that's why he makes it such a big deal. Every time he's like, this is the world premiere of this. Or like, hey, remember this project? Let's show this thing. And, oh, here's this, you know. And so I just think that's another reason why I'm like, you know what? The Game Awards show is also an award show. And I'm just really tired of award shows. But at least they know the audience, right? Whereas for the Oscars, it's like, do they even know their audience anymore? I feel like the audience is just for the people who are actually there, and the physical, literal audience, and way less for like the people watching it. You know, I feel like all the jokes were very
We're just
much
observers.
Like, yeah, I feel like all the jokes were like for the people there, and honestly, like I guess that's fine. I guess not everything has to be for me. I guess they don't have to be like I don't know, but. Yeah. All I'm saying is that I know award shows aren't for me, and I know that a Game Awards is only going to be watched by me for those premieres. So I would agree. If they had, like, big movie trailers that they were waiting for, like, oh, we're going to premiere this at the Oscars tonight, like, I would maybe be more invested.
I do want to give a shout-out to a trailer that did pop up in there. Mm-hmm. And the show, it's an FX miniseries called Under the Banner of Heaven. And this is kind of up our organization's alley right here. The description, it's got Andrew Garfield in it, and the description is a devout detective's faith is tested as he investigates a brutal murder seemingly connected to an esteemed Utah family's spiral into LDS fundamentalism and their distrust in the government. Looks crazy.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Watch that trailer. Yeah, it's nuts.
I love it.
Andrew Garfield interests me so much because he's so like...
Yeah.
I've never seen someone who's like not necessarily a Christian be such a fan of Christianity.
Yeah, and Hacksaw Ridge, like, you know, like
and Silence.
Yeah, Silence. Yeah.
He like, and he goes super into or I don't know if he's still doing that, but like for Silence, he went to a monastery and like learned everything there was to know.
Yeah.
He just like seems really kind of geek out about it, but I wasn't quite there yet. From last I had seen, he was agnostic.
Yeah, but I love that though, that he at least has an appreciation for like religion and like,
the way he acts is in a way that's
like that. Like,
that's like at least from what I've seen is very respectful to
that
religion,
definitely.
which is cool because he's not I just I'm a big fan of Andrew Garfield. I still need to watch Tick Tick Boom. That was one thing that took out the Oscars is that I was like, man, I still need to watch that. That is still on my list.
Yep.
Cool.
I think that's...
I was going to say, we don't need to talk more about Academy, but yeah, that
What
happened.
else is going on? Let's get back to some geekery.
Yeah.
Some good old-fashioned geekery.
To be fair, we don't have much else in the movie department here.
Mm-hmm.
So, both of these are not going to be huge talking points, I don't believe, unless we somehow have really strong feelings about them. Personally, I don't have super strong feelings about them. One being, for Star Trek 4, there hasn't been much development yet. Chris Pine hasn't even read like a script yet, but he was able to meet the new director, Matt Shackman. And he says he likes him. He says, you know, he's excited to work with him and that sort of thing. So that's at least good. You know, that's, imagine being the director and not having anything to say or like having bad things to say, and that would just be pretty
Some news is good news.
Future.
Yeah.
So,
Although I bet they don't even have lightsabers this time.
What? Wrong star.
I just want to make someone mad.
Well, honestly, I was gonna make somebody mad by saying like I'm not into Star Trek at all, but I really feel like I should at least give that new trilogy a shot that this is related to. Like, I should watch them and at least give them a try.
I watched the first Chris Pine Star Trek movie, and then there was a second one that I think I actually might have seen it once. I kind of want to watch them again though, because I do like Star Trek.
Right, like I've never seen them, so I'm kind of interested to see like what they did, you know?
Yeah, it's just so different than like Star Trek that I attribute you know, what I think about Star Trek, because I think about Star Trek Next Gen. Like, that is, when I think of Star Trek, I think of Next Gen.
Same.
Because
That's
that's
what
the most I watched. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny seeing any sort of modern rendition where there's like action-packed scenes happening, because Next Gen was so like not that, or whatever it was action-packed. It was super like.
I'm more of an Orville fan than a Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
Orville.
Oh man, that show, it needs to come back.
Yeah, it's always been kind of more of like a. They were never about the fighting or anything.
Yeah,
in Star Trek.
Yeah, it's sort of more of a slow burn, sort of like, yeah, we're discovering.
That's kind of what I love about Mass Effect, is like it's Star Trek but cooler.
Yeah, I guess so. Eventually, I'll play Mass Effect. I still own the trilogy.
I'm gonna make some people real mad. I'm gonna get some angry tweets this week.
But anyway, there's that. Then we also, again, just super small bit of news for Deadpool 3 development. We finally got another confirmation for a actor returning. So I believe her name is Leslie Ugams. I hope
I'm glad you
tried.
Right.
Ugams? It's one of
Pass.
the two.
Ugams.
Ugams?
I don't know.
Sounds like a diaper brand.
She's Blind Owl,
Ugams.
which I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't remember this character.
It's the old,
No?
it's the old woman.
I only watched the original Deadpool once, and it was a long time ago. I never watched the second one.
She was in it.
Well, I know she was in it, but I'm just saying I don't remember because I don't remember anything from that movie.
Well,
Besides
that's why
the
this news
tiny
is very.
hand he had. He had that tiny hand.
It's
like,
very
that's all I
it's
remember.
very non-news because she was such a minor character, but it was also like a scene.
She was in both movies. I feel like she's not that minor. What's cool to me about this is that it means that Deadpool's not being rebooted necessarily.
Yeah,
like they're bringing back some characters.
So he literally hopped through time. There's no way they need to like even like try to connect it all. Like it's just like.
Yeah, you just throw him in whatever they want.
Throw him in whatever you want.
Anyway, but she's back, so that's cool. But yeah, it's just a matter of time before we see if other people are going to come back, or if it's like just her and Ryan Reynolds. You know,
you should fight the TVA.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That'd be interesting. I don't know.
Imagine Loki trying to fight Deadpool fighting Loki. Oh my gosh, I want that
Dude.
now. I want it so much.
I really hope we get Cable Thanos jokes. They have to.
There has to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're the same person.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So funny. I don't know what to expect from Deadpool 3, but
I bet it'll be a high budget bonkersness.
It's got to be fun, right?
Yeah.
That is all the movie news, though.
That's it.
Cool.
Yeah. We don't have much at all. I warned you guys.
It's a very light week.
We talked a lot about, video games we played, so then we, a little bit of movies, now we're going to move on TV, and then we'll be done.
I mean, I got plenty of TV to talk about, like, as far as what I watched.
I super don't, so you can go ahead.
Halo. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
We're going through the notes. Yeah, we can talk about Halo real quick. I've never played a Halo, I've played Halo games, but I've never played a story of Halo. Definitely not a game I play for the lore.
Actually, honestly, the lore is some of the best parts of Halo, like, to be honest.
Red vs. Blue is the best part of Halo.
Not even the actual, like, story of Halo is that great, but, like, a lot of the lore is really cool.
Red vs. Blue.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was going to say, I think we've been through that bit.
Yep, we've already gone through this.
Yep.
I don't know, I like the show. It kind of felt very, like, off the rails halfway through that first episode. Is there another episode out, or is it just the one so far?
It's just the one. Okay.
Yeah, things just kind of got out of hand real fast.
Yep. Yeah, so coming from, I've played enough Halo to know that this is very different.
Okay.
They've already said ahead of time, this is what they're calling the Silver Timeline. It has no connection to actual events that take place in the games. So, which I think is a good move, because they're already telling people, hey, separate your mind from the video game, because this is a TV show. We're making this like it's a TV show, not like it's the video game. Which I'm like, okay, I give them props for trying something different. That whole, like, first chunk, though, the Covenant were, like, terrifying. I was like, that is the way you do the Covenant, to me. Like, that
Those are the aliens, correct?
Yes, the group of aliens.
I saw a lot of people complaining about the CGI of it, and I really didn't think the CGI was bad.
So honestly, like, this is a good thing though. It almost felt like watching a high budget Power Rangers kind of. Like,
Yeah. I saw some people say that it was like watching Power Rangers, and I thought like actual TV show Power Rangers, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna be terrible.
No. Like
the CGI I thought looked great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the CGI, and seeing those aliens like come to life like that, like, and the way their guns just melt things, I was like, that is accurate.
Yeah.
That seems like
one thing that was confusing to me. Two different aliens. I think they were the same type of alien. I guess it was just the guns that they were shot with, but they bled two different colors, and I was like, why?
So there's the small guns that are like the plasma. Oh, you're talking about the actual aliens themselves?
Yeah, one bled green and one bled red. I'm assuming it's what they were shot with, but
could have been. I don't remember. I'd have to look, but I mean, they're different, like, definitely species. They're not all the same species. So there's like the jackals, the elites, and the grunts, and they're all different, kind of.
So maybe they were two different.
Yeah, they're just two different species. Colors. Yeah. Because the grunts are totally like little tiny dudes, and the elites are these big dudes.
I appreciated that even Master Chief didn't know what was going on by the end of that episode.
Yeah. Well,
she's like, why are you doing this? And he's like, I don't know.
See, that's another thing that trips me out about the plot, is it feels very much like I've seen a lot of action movies do, where it's like, oh, like, the good guys are the real, like, bad guys kind of a thing. I mean, that's not really spoiling anything, but it's definitely taking it in a different direction than the games have, which I'm looking forward to see what they do with it. After, like, it's hard to judge off of one episode.
I will say, though, besides that, it doesn't feel like, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, it might be a good thing. It doesn't feel like a video game show, like if TV show. Like, if I didn't know, if I'd never seen Halo, I would just assume this was just another space show so far.
It's that.
That might be an okay thing.
It's that balance that we've always talked about, like with Tomb Raider and stuff like that. Like, I can totally put that episode on for my stepdad, and he'll be like, "Oh, this is cool," and have absolutely and absolutely no knowledge of like what even goes on in those games. Yeah, which I think is great.
So far, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm with people who say that he shouldn't take his helmet off. It's weird to see Master Chief without a helmet, but
it's a bold move.
It had to happen.
Yeah, I think they had to tear off the Band-Aid really fast, because I feel like they would have just done the Mando thing. I mean, I guess we kind of spoiled that, but headlines did already.
Yeah, I mean, Mandalorians.
Well, yeah, but
you're talking about in Halo, yeah. I think they were talking about that. I think before the episode. Headlines about it. Yeah,
so instead of doing like the Mando thing and like, oh, we're gonna wait till the last episode, it's like, no, let's tear the Band-Aid off now. And
he's a face. He's a person.
Yeah, and so far, like, I haven't seen the actor enough to really say I like him, but I'm like, oh, like, it's cool, like, you know, like, hopefully he does.
His voice sounds awesome in the helmet.
Yeah. He's just kind of and I kind of love that, how they're just kind of like, Master Chief's really just a dude, you know, which I think is a different take on the character, which is so far okay.
Also, I'll throw this out there that nobody cares, but I didn't know they were called Spartans.
Yep.
And so Epic Rap Battles History has Leonidas versus Master Chief. It's a classic.
So now you're like, oh, it makes sense.
I literally paused the episode and was like, I get it now. My wife was like, what? And I was like, Spartan versus Spartan in Epic Rap Battles of History. And she was like, oh.
Clever.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. It's good. Great Epic Rap Battle. If anyone's wondering. Anyways. Yeah, I'll watch more. I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I couldn't get Paramount Plus on my PS5.
Oh, yes.
I guess because it's an Xbox thing.
Well, no, not even that. It's just they don't have a Paramount app on. I don't know if they even have one on Xbox, to be honest.
That's crazy.
I'd have to look. I could be wrong.
That would be very unwise on Xbox's part.
But they don't have an app on PlayStation.
But what you can do is if you have Amazon Prime, you might not even need Prime. You need an Amazon account. You can watch Paramount Plus through Amazon.
Really? I didn't know that.
You need to pay the subscription still for Paramount.
Yeah, which I have the subscription.
But it's one of those weird channel things on Paramount.
The add-on things.
Yeah. You probably could do it through Apple TV as well. I noticed that Apple TV's got something like that where you can watch different channels.
Yeah, because if I can I just watch it off my smart TV. Like, it's the only app I just use my actual built-in, like, TV, like, app. Like, yeah, it's weird.
That's gotten really confusing. So I can watch a bunch of stuff through Amazon Prime. I can watch a bunch of other subscription channels through that.
Ooh.
And then Apple TV is the same way, where I can watch things through Apple TV's app, but they're not the actual apps.
Yeah, and they're doing their own after show equivalent.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So I watched that as well. So I'm gonna start watch those after each episode.
Cool.
Yep.
What else have you been watching, LJ?
Real quick, I watched Iron Blooded Orphans, the Gundam anime that's like came out in the last few years. It's good. I haven't watched a ton of it yet, but the plot's really cool. It's about these young kids that are working for this organization on like Mars, and they're like they pilot these like worker mechs at first, but then it's like, oh, like we got a Gundam hidden down here, and basically the place gets attacked, and one of them's like, oh, well, like let me get in this thing, and so it's like it's cool. It's got a cool plot so far. I watched it like after work one day, so I fell asleep, but I like it. It's cool so far because I haven't watched Gundam in a while. So
yeah, Gundam's
trying to get back into
fun.
anime.
Yeah.
I have my phases.
I am caught up on The Walking Dead. Next Sunday will be the mid-season. Is it mid? It's not the middle if it's 2/3 of the way through.
Wow.
But season finale, and it's been really good so far. This third has been really interesting. Like I said, they kind of do whatever they want sometimes. Storytelling wise, now they've kind of just decided they're going to be creative because they can, and people are going to watch it regardless if it's good or not. And I'm really enjoying that. And then the thing that they've kind of built up over the seasons forever is that no one's necessarily a good guy anymore. The lines are just so muddled, and they've continued to do that even more so. In this season, you really don't know who to root for. You kind of just want mom and dad to stop fighting.
That's funny.
It's real weird. Like, I don't know. I'm really, really enjoying this. And we've got one more season to go. I assume it'll come out probably in October, if I were to guess. That's kind of Walking Dead's MO.
Mm-hmm. They like stop before the summer and come back for the fall.
Yeah. I've been thinking more and more about it. I don't think that I'm not gonna be one that watches the rest of the Walking Dead stuff. I might latch on to like one more. I think the Negan and Maggie could be really cool. Daryl and Carol, though, that'll be cool too. I'll probably pick one or two of them and stick with that. I can't see myself going and watching every single spinoff that they've got going.
You'll kind of do what you did yourself with CW.
Yeah,
you'll burn out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got to find one. I think, and that'll just be my replacement instead of trying to latch onto all of these different shows. It's just not that interesting of a world to me. It's these characters I've kind of like been with for 9 years, I think it is. Mm-hmm. Walking Dead, I think it's season 9 that
maybe longer. Dang.
Yeah.
Because I remember that show started coming out like season 1 or 2 when I was still in high school, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
The world itself, I'm not interested in. It's these people, these characters.
I gotta look that up. When did?
Yeah, you have to let me know. But other than that, I'm really excited for the movie. They make Walking Dead movies. I'll definitely watch those, especially if they've got the big characters. Still waiting for Rick Grimes' movie. Could be really crazy. But all right, we'll get into TV while you're looking that up.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird spinoff thingies,
2010. Sorry.
10. Yes, 12 years.
Woo.
Okay.
12 years I've spent with The Walking Dead. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I watched. I think I was in. It would be 11 years for me. I watched from season 2. But we'll get into the TV news. Like I said, Disney Plus has done a Defenders promo, and that may not seem like huge news, but I find it really interesting just that they care enough to do that at all. It's very low budget. It's not like they got new footage or anything. It's just like the actors of these shows saying that they're really excited their shows are on TV. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s thrown in there too with the Defenders. So that was kind of weird. But they're just like, hey, you can go watch my show. You know, it's a Jessica Jones actress.
I'm tempted to pick up where I left off on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, just so I can see the Ghost Rider stuff.
Ghost Rider stuff is good. I tried watching the last few seasons and I was having a really tough time. Like, I don't know if it just had always been that bad and I was oblivious, or if the last few seasons are just bad. Ghost Rider stuff I really enjoyed though. But even like the Finn Jones, is that his name that plays Iron Fist? Like he's on there. It's everyone like recording themselves in their house, but he was like, "Hey, you can watch Iron Fist on Disney Plus now."
All right.
So just kind of cool that they're like still taking ownership of these shows, I guess, and that Disney Plus cared enough to make anything for it.
Yeah.
Makes me think that they're
just
plans.
not just completely forgetting about it entirely.
I wonder if they wanted to prep people for like, I know Moon Knight's going to be TVMA, but it is going to be dark. So I wondered if like they wanted to get those in ahead of Moon Knight to be like, hey, we've done dark before, you know, like.
This isn't that new for us.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I want to know what their plans are.
Yeah,
I think it'd be really cool to throw in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like Quake or something in Doctor Strange or something. I don't know. We'll see. I think Doctor Strange
or maybe actually do what their original idea was and set it around, I don't know, stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
A reboot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that was a Disney Plus show.
S.H.I.E.L.D. ain't even a thing anymore, though, so it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole weird thing with the show is that they're a small team. All of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is now a team of 6.
Yeah.
That just goes and does illegal stuff all the time.
I still blame Winter Soldier, the movie Winter Soldier, for messing a lot of that up. Because after that, they're like, well, what do we do with our show?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're just 6 illegal agents of chaos.
Agents of Chaos. There you go. There's your new title. I'm just kidding.
Agents of Smash. Let's get that.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
What?
All the Hulks.
It's a cartoon. Shelley's like, what? Smash Ultimate?
I'm like, no.
Yeah. Not Smash Bros.
What'd you say?
There is a Hulk cartoon that's like 5 different Hulks.
Yeah.
And they're all agents of Smash. One of them's like this dude bro surfer guy. I love it. And then, like I said, news was pretty slow. We got an Easter special for Doctor Who. I didn't know they did that. They're not calling it Easter special. They're calling it a spring special. But it is literally coming out Easter Sunday. And the Sea Devil things, which I guess are like an old school Doctor Who reference. They look like rabbits to me.
So it sounds like it's going to be full of Easter eggs.
Yeah. Probably.
Right on.
I don't know much more about it. I just know that it's coming out on Easter, and I thought that was really interesting.
That's cool.
Doctor Who has really interesting things on faith to say about faith. So I'd be curious if they do anything with it or not. And then somebody here cares. There's casting for One Piece for Shanks. I don't know who Shanks is, but Peter Gadiot of Yellow Jackets, which is also another show that I don't know about. He's
Luffy's mentor, or not mentor, but like the pirate that Luffy looked up to and where he got his straw hat from.
Okay.
Yep.
His idol.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Role model, that's the word.
Yes, role model. Oh, yeah.
So that's cool, I guess. I don't know. I would have thought that this would have been dead as soon as Cowboy Bebop stopped.
So honestly, I asked one of my coworker of mine, who's very familiar with One Piece, and he says that again, the writer and the director I guess they have his blessing. Like, I guess he's been heavily involved in the casting and like getting input, which I think is great.
Okay.
That's cool. Like, I think if the director is on board with it, then, or if like the creator of One Piece itself is on board with the show and he's okay with things that are going on, then right on.
It reminds me of how that is no longer the case for the Avatar live action show. The original creators have left for creative differences, and that tells me that show's going to be bad. So yeah,
we're going to see Kyoshi. I saw that in the news. I didn't put it in there in the Avatar Last Airbender show, and Kyoshi is going to help train Aang. So hopefully it's a past Kyoshi.
That already doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. It probably takes place in modern day. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Huh?
I was like,
I'm
what?
Just not, it's like I'm not invested at all, but I'm also still like kind of hope it's not terrible just for the sake that we've already gotten one incredibly embarrassing live action thing. Why do we need another?
And Cowboy Bebop wasn't even that bad. It's Death Note that was the real embarrassment.
Yeah.
I just think like Cowboy Bebop. My thing with Cowboy Bebop is it seemed to do the anime justice.
Mm-hmm.
like it seemed really to hold on to what made that anime
It did.
special.
Yeah.
And I think that's what killed it. And so One Piece is so ridiculous that I'm like, if you keep this live action show that close to the source material, which is what everyone seems to want, I think it'll be terrible.
Well, yeah, because there's no way, like, just that all those characters that are designed are like Looney Tune looking, like silly looking. So it's like, I have like they picked one
like
of the
if you
hardest...
turn him, what's his face, into like Mr. Fantastic,
Yeah.
it's gonna look terrible on screen.
Yeah, like I have no idea, and I'm kind of like I'm interested just to see like, okay, like how are they gonna do this?
Yeah.
Because arguably
We'll
Avatar
see.
should be an easier adaptation than One Piece.
Mm-hmm. You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm ready for Paramount's Avatar World stuff. That is one universe that I'm like, yeah, bleed it dry. Let me get more content.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's how most people feel now.
Yeah, I want more. Hopefully it's all good. I don't care about this live action thing. I want Avatar movies, and I want TV shows.
We already got one of those.
What's the Fire Lord? Fire Lord? Not
Who's
Ozai.
that?
No, the Firebender. Avatar.
Zuko? No. The Avatar? I don't remember the Fire Avatar.
Oh, it's gonna kill me. I want a show with him. Old man Firebender Avatar being cool. I want a prequel series. I want everything. I want a cyberpunk Avatar.
I mean, with Korra, they were definitely evolving technology, so...
They brought in mechs. It was so cool.
Yep.
I want more of that world. They can do whatever they want. I'll be happy as long as the creators are involved.
As long as it's not M. Night Shyamalan again?
Yeah. Dragon Prince is amazing. I love everything that they do. So
I love Dragon Prince. Bring me more.
Yes, I want more of that too. There's so much they could do with Avatar. World's so cool. Characters are amazing. All right. Don't know. That's how much I know about One Piece. I have to change the subject, but we'll have the podcast there. Are we geeking out about anything else this week?
Nope.
All I can mention is that we're moving soon.
Woot!
It's not very geeky, but that's a big life event, I suppose.
It sure is, yeah.
It's huge.
Moving is
Episode
also
300.
not fun. Yes.
I know. It's literally gone from, like, the stresses and anxieties of looking for a place to, great, we have a place. Now the stresses and anxieties of actually making it happen.
Yeah.
All the logistics, and once we're actually settled, then everything will be great. It's just gonna be a while before we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, yes, episode 300.
Yeah, Facebook
Speaking of Spartans...
page. Facebook, what? 300. Oh, hey, 300. Funny.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was like, what?
I would not even... Okay.
Yeah, we can go now.
I have an antidote. No, I got it. In football, my freshman year, we were real bad. And my coach was like, we were losing because we were always losing. And he was like, you guys are the underdogs. You're like 300. And he was trying to be so motivational and like was going into this. And one of the kids goes, hey, Coach. He goes, what? And he's like, they all die at the end of that movie, sir.
No way.
That's amazing. That's great.
That was awesome.
But hey, at least, I mean, it should have been motivation enough for you guys to go down fighting, so.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what he went with.
That's great, though. Like, they all die. Like, yeah. That's funny.
It's not going to work out for them. Yeah, good stuff.
That's amazing.
Anyways, we'll end the podcast there. It'll be what time do we... 8? Hold on, I gotta do some math. 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
No.
And
6.
No? 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
I was like, do not push this an hour earlier, my
8,
dude.
6 o'clock.
8 Central.
I will not be there.
8 Central.
Yep.
9 Eastern.
3 time zones. There you go.
6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
Now you're just...
Everyone's gonna be so confused.
Yeah.
No, everyone, you know your time zone that you live in? Pick one. Well, don't pick yours specifically. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Love you guys. I was almost to sign off. LJ, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at WarHeroLJ.
Shelley, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at TheShellShock24. You can find me streaming, for now at least, kind of, I don't know, moving soon. Tuesday nights, playing Persona 4 Golden until I beat that game, and then I don't know what I'll do. But twitch.tv/Geeks Under Grace.
And you can find me on the Geeks Under Grace Facebook page at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time next week with the rest of the crew when we're going to do this live. Also on Instagram, at Cody Armour. Keep gaming, keep praying, and God bless.
Goodbye.
Peace. One Piece.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. We love hearing from you, so feel free to ask us questions or just comment on the show by using the hashtag GUGcast on Twitter, or by joining the GUGcast questions channel in the Geeks Under Grace Discord. If you like this episode, consider leaving a review or rating of our show on your favorite podcast app. If you want even more Geeks Under Grace, you can always go to geeksundergrace.com. We love you all so much, so thank you for listening.